Hello guys, it's Christian Nisbet and welcome to another week of videos being brought to you by me. I had an interesting thing happen this week, an interesting thing that made me review what I've been doing for the past few years, and one of the major pitfalls that's easy when you're a performer to get into, which is you over-ask. You over-ask your audience saying, hey, come to my show, hey, do this for me, hey, buy my piece. I was walking down the street and there was a guy that had just his drawing set out. And he was saying, support me because this thing helps me a lot. It brings me a lot of value. And it's just like, it brings you a lot of value. Yeah, it brings you a lot of value. But why? What value does it bring me? What value does it bring your audience? And I think that's the important thing that as an artist, as a performer, you have to ask yourself. You can't get so caught up in, this thing helped me through a hard time. This thing helped me heal. This thing helped me recover. That's great for you. Wonderful. I had the same thing happen. After my overdose, I used my writing as a way to rebuild all the infrastructure that got lost. As far as self-harm goes, same thing. I used my writing and my literature to rebuild everything that I lost. But for me to go out to somebody and say, hey, watch my show. Hey, read this writing just because I went through some really shitty, that's offensive and disrespectful to the audience. Because I'm not providing them anything of value to them. I'm saying, hey, this thing gave me so much value. You should use it too because it helped me. Not you, me. And looking back over, when I performed with bands at certain venues, I can see the same pattern, and it's not just with them. I'm not pointing the finger at them. I'm pointing the finger back at me too. I think until recently, I wasn't focused on providing valuable content to the people that followed me, to my audience. Up until probably around June, I think was when I started saying, you know what, I need to provide valuable content to my audience. I need to show them the life that I live. I need to show them everything going on and show them transparency. Instead of just, the 2 minutes at this, or not the 2 minutes, the 20 minutes at this show. You'll see 20 minutes. You'll see the work that I perform. But I want you to see more than that. I want you to see all the intricate little things that go into building that. And I think that's where as performers and artists we don't do enough. We do our audience a disservice by not showing them the raw part of us and by not letting them in. Yes, when you do perform, when you do create something that's a part of you, you're letting someone into the most intimate parts of your life. That's what they deserve. So I apologize if I ever make it seem like I'm saying, come to my show, come to this, buy this piece of work, buy this piece of writing, and not showing you all the intimate parts that go within that. If I don't provide you value up front, then abandon me right now. Because that's the most disrespectful and offensive thing you can do, is saying, hey, I have such a big fucking ego that you should go do this for me. No. I need to do something for you and provide something for you before I can ask you to do the same thing for me. So I guess that's where all this begins, is showing the most intimate parts. And I don't even think it's really just showing the most intimate parts. I think it's showing others the most intimate parts and saying, this point, this level of exposure, vulnerability, I'm in this same as you. Me and you are hand in hand on this. So to say that your work helps you, that's fine. I'm great if the work you produce gives you meaning and gives you a purpose. But to say to an audience, support me financially, support me, give me enough financial resources sufficient for survival, it's the most disrespectful fucking thing you can ever do to an audience. And if you do that, get the fuck out of performing. Until next week. Signing off. Christian S. Nisbet.